A warm welcome, dear viewers, to our series, Back to School. I have a doctor here again today. I already introduced her to you in the intro, Mrs. Beate Strittmatter. A warm welcome, dear Beate. Your book, Save Love, moved me incredibly, and I can only encourage people and viewers to do the same as I did. Just read it. Let yourself be inspired by these topics. I like to say the word again and again. This is the premier class of QS24. It couldn't be better. In here we find all the problems, or actually the approaches to solving life's problems. And not only problems of life, but also manifested problems in the form of inflammation, pain, up to malignant diseases. I'm very sure that this is the key. And that's why I love being able to talk to you so much. You also have a table of contents here. It's about shadows, about mirrors, the sound of childhood, and including all the stories. I'd like to choose something again today about the shadow principle, namely one.
Choose.
Exactly. Eternal race for the money. That's something I've seen over and over again. I also know it from my childhood. I know how it was with my father, the eternal race for money. As soon as he had something, another stroke of fate came and then it was gone again. And he didn't get anything for it. And then the next one, the same story kept repeating.
You said earlier that you think this is the key. I feel very blessed that I was able to put this together and see it that way in practice. And now I have two sons, grown sons, 30 and 32. And it's not that easy to get them excited about these topics. And my older son works in television, and I wanted to inspire him to present my podcast. I'm all over the podcast channels, and somehow I got him to the point that he actually does it with passion. And he says in his intro, Mrs. Dr. Beate Strittmatter, in collaboration with experts, has found out that there are rules that are the same for all couples in the world. Too good to be true, then just listen. That came from him, this text. So also young people are also slowly waking up. Unbelievable.
So also this episode will be available as a podcast.
Oh good, so the money. Madness about the money. The eternal race for money. I'll tell you about a friend of mine in a moment. I'll tell you the first touch I had like this. A patient teacher doesn't even have a bad salary. I know they earn more in Switzerland, but they make good living in Germany. And the teacher said to me, well, I will soon be close to retirement age. I say, what do you want to do? He says, I'd like to set up a yoga studio for me. Great, yes, but that always depends on the money. I say, you don't mean that, right? Yes, it always depends on the money. And sometimes if you can feel something, then you have to be able to feel. He's lying on the couch, I stand next to him, and I say, so where are you from? Where were the poor people, the better people in the past? Then he says, you got me. Yes, my parents had little money and said, you'll see, whoever is rich, they'll pay for it. And the poor people are the better ones. That is also a way to deal with the state, ethically, morally, with a better feeling, except that the boy has it written here, poor people are the better people. Okay, then let me give something away. So he lost money in strange ways. It's incredible. I just need to write down a few notes for myself because I can think of so many cases. One moment. Harold, Bettina. Yes, okay. When he understood that, he said, you got me. Be aware of your own beliefs. The trouble is, it's usually written here. I would recommend that people seek help. When you've found a belief, it is in all cells of your body, it is in all 4 levels of life, deeply. Hypnosis, for example, can be of great help. What I am doing can also help. For example, people lie down, I feel the pulse and let them say, I'm entitled to money. Then it starts to oscillate. Does not fit, does not work, must not be. I do the same when people want to lose weight. I like to be slim. Doesn't work, doesn't fit, there's a reason. So then we know it's like a polygraph. Well, that's somewhere in your head too. Poor people are better people. Do you really want to be a worse person? Do you want that? Do you want to be rich and bad? No, you don't want that. As long as this connection is there, you can't help. But I actually want the money, but I would rather be a better person. An extreme case, an absolute extreme case of money problems. Crazy. I have a friend who's a doctor, and he's also a businessman at the same time. And he understands it. He makes wonderful medicine, really a specialist, wonderful. He knows how to make money. And even as a student, I always admire that. As a student, he understood how to make inventions. I absolutely admire that about him, and he always tells me he's a bit insensitive. As a student, he had a sports car that the professor didn't have, and he wondered why the professor did whatever. That was insensitive. So I've always admired that. And strange things keep coming up in his life. So he can make a lot of money, but it has happened to him twice. For example, that a valuable car was simply stolen. The same thing twice. Same brand. Then he wants to develop products for a company. So he has a very creative mind. If I told you what he invented, you would know straight away who it is. So I'm not saying what he invented. In any case, he has developed products, very innovative products, and the company boss didn't feel like working with him, and it was $1 million deal. And one day he was alone with him and held him at gunpoint and forced him to sign that the contract was cancelled. 1 million. What I don't find so great is that such companies can then go bankrupt and then they can position themselves under a different title. So he had a title, but there was nothing to be gained from the company. Anyway, so that happens a lot. And then another big thing happened. One morning, I wake up and something occurs to me. And I write him a message, and I write to him, listen, Hans-Peter, give me a call. Call me. We are both before the practice. He's calling me. I say, listen, Hans-Peter, who was your father? He says, my father was a butcher. He was a small butcher. So did he approve when you were studying medicine? What did he say? If you can address people like that to the essentials. He knew it as if in a trance immediately. My father said, aren't we good enough for you? What does that mean? Do you want your dad to think he's not good enough? Do you want that your father thinks you are ashamed of him? You don't. Now he can earn money, he got the gift. But I don't want my father to think he's not good enough. I'm giving something away. One of them gets the gun, the other, he has a car stolen, then another car stolen. Do you understand what that is for him? It's a relief for him. Yes, the anger is there. This valuable car is gone, and what does he think? And we're going to court? However, you always have to see exactly how do you feel. And I also asked him, how are you feeling? How do you feel deep down, very honestly? Right, there was always a feeling of, now it's gone.
Not that bad.
Now it's gone. It was bad in the head, but not the feeling inside. And then he went into hypnosis. And it has never happened again since then.
Where did he go?
In hypnosis. No, it was different. I recommended hypnosis to him, but he says, you can do that too. I say, fine, this is my master's exam now. And nothing has happened in the last years. According to the motto, Pulse, I am entitled to money. I can keep all my money. Before it was, does not work, does not work, does not work. It's here, does not work. Your father reminds you. What do you want? It can be an ordeal for someone. Better give away a lot of money. Do you understand the principle?
I understand.
That's just crazy.
How can one learn to understand which has happened there, or what happens every day in all of us? Such a confrontation. To think about it exactly, to ask the questions. How can we get this out there?
When the same thing happens to someone all the time,
and we all know it,
always the same. Call it by name, A, B or C, always happens to me. Where is my subject? Find someone to translate this for you. There are enough good people who can translate what your subject is. And another story about money. I have a dear friend. She works in the health sector and we once had a wine together. And she was always short of money, always. She makes money, but the money is gone too. Always money problems. And then I asked her, Bettina, we had already drunk a little wine, her tongue was loosened. What does money mean to you? For example, this is a question you can ask. If the money is always gone, what does money mean to you? And then she says spontaneously, money is dangerous. Because when it comes to money, her parents had a business and it was always about the business. The parents never had time for the children. When it comes to money, the other person never has time for you. There it was. When it comes to money, the other person never has time for you.
She has time now, but no money, because she sees it as dangerous.
She thinks money is dangerous, but she suffers from the shortage. It's also interesting to do good family constellations. You can show this subject. Family constellations, I am not a fan of Hellinger, but all of his students are better than him. There are also good constellations in Switzerland. I have friends in Zurich who told me that someone in Zurich is also doing this constellation. Constellation means that you use a representative for your topic for yourself. Magically, everyone knows Sigmund Freud.
Sure.
You say that? Sure. Sigmund Freud was born in 1856 plus 20 years, 1856, 1876. Until he was 20, until he was 30. He was the first to talk about psychology and the unconscious in the first place, and made popular. Today we have courses of study, professions. I said to a psychology student, just think about it, none of this existed 150 years ago. Sigmund Freud not only discovered the unconscious that controls us, but he also discovered the group unconscious. Very interesting. You use a few people for a system. For example, someone's office. There is the boss. There is the employee. Here is the secretary. And leave them there, or even a family. They only know they are A, B, or C, and suddenly they get the feeling that are in the system. And in this way, I was able to see that a topic about money could be solved through a constellation. A man set it up. I don't say the professions, otherwise I might gossip, who had a freelance job and he earned money. But strangely enough, if he had money, then the car insurance was due. Then he had to pay a huge medical bill.
Back taxes.
There was always, yes, back taxes. There were always good opportunities to say, here, you have my money. Something unbelievable came in the constellation. In the constellation, he saw the deputy for his mother and for his father, and his mother, for some reason, she always threw away his toys, new toys. She had a quirk somehow, and his father and his mother, that was a scene that everything focused on, argued because of him. His father and mother argued, and he got the feeling, I'm not worth it. What? All of it. I'm not worth it. I'm not worth the money. Crazy, right? And the money itself was also listed as a person. This woman had never been in such a constellation and said afterwards, yes, that's exactly my topic. I have the topic too. It went on with this man. I could track him. He solved this issue and keeps his money. My friend didn't do anything, because it seemed too dangerous to her. You understand, the money is dangerous. When I said, don't you want to do something? Can I maybe help you? Money is dangerous. Everything has to do with it's dangerous. She's still suffering from it now. It's tragic to see. Sometimes I can't look at it. But I've had to realise over the course of my years that everyone has their own way and that I can't talk anyone into it. I also can't say, I'll save you now. You have this topic, I'll save you, I'll pull you in, I'll save you. No. Be respectful of the other's level of development. I once heard a clever sentence, which is, when you see that someone is in trouble and you have a solution, touch them. If you see that someone has a problem, You have a solution, but you see that they are not ready yet. Touch them gently and move on. We should learn to touch gently in medicine. Instead of saying, I know what you have, this, that, we do this and that, and that, and that, and that. For example, there's a woman who fights with me. She's like that. I find her so intrusive, this patient. She was just there last Thursday. She rarely fights with me, yes, but this and that, and here it hurts me, and there it hurts more, and in general, and here too, I have complaints, and so on. Then I started making offers to her. Okay, you are blocked there and with your stomach. There is just this intolerance, and take a look, maybe we should leave out sugar. Then I showed her a film about what insulin can do, and I brought her my laptop and showed her this film for patients, what insulin does. Insulin makes you old, insulin causes cell aging, there's an insulin blah, 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 blah. I think I'm going insane. She won't listen to anything. But, I say, you know what? You just lie down now. You are in this emotion right now. Lie down there. She lies there, and then you have to tell yourself, I'm completely open. I don't have a specific topic. And then it came out that all the complaints, everything she has, comes from the fact that her husband almost died once and that she's been scared ever since, every day, that she might lose him again. Think about how much effort that is. If you can get to that, and that's why it's so good for doctors too, that.
Yeah, it has to go there.
It's good for doctors. I'll be in Timmendorf next week for our annual congress. Every time I have a topic that I associate with acupuncture and our topics. But hey, do that. When I dared to give this first lecture a few years ago about aggression and good aggression, what does it have to do with us? I stood there. The hall was very quiet. You could hear a pin drop. And in the end, I stood there. Nobody applauded. Until I realised I looked into 200 open hearts. Then they recovered and applauded. Sometimes I feel for doctors. They have to do so much. They have so much organisational stuff. They are burdened with so many cuts. You in Switzerland, you don't even know how lucky you are. You invoice the time, we don't. We have flat rates per case, but the patient comes 10 times and so on and so forth. Most of them are really under pressure and haven't learned it either. I was lucky to get my turn. And I see myself as someone like that too. Yes, I'll bring this stuff to you. It's always well received. And I also think, especially doctors, if you can ask the question, when you get to that with the fear that her husband will die, I can help her with that. I can deal with the fear. And there are so many good techniques. Gestalt therapy, hypnosis, EMDR, what I do. If you can say, I have a topic and that keeps me busy 24/7. It's like when you have a little fire that's in the forest, and I'm telling you, watch out, Mr. Glog, it's a little bit windy. You are responsible for keeping this fire small. There is a forest, woe betide you if it will burn when I come back. What will you do? You will walk around that little fire all night. You will always put earth on it with both hands. What else can you do with your hands? Nothing. Where is your energy? Gone. You're only busy with that. And that's how you can see it when a topic is really rooting. It's like a vole that eats life's impulses from below. If we could get to the topics faster. When this woman got up, she had a different view. There was nothing about, it hurts me here and it hurts me there. I said to her for fun, I did a little trauma acupuncture. I am disconnecting her from the trauma. I don't push it away. The memory may stay. The feeling has to go. So I can, for example, I had a colleague in a course, in a medical course in Berlin, who says, I have migraines and I wanted to show trauma acupuncture. And the colleagues were standing around me. It was a laser course, and I say, have you ever experienced something bad? I wanted to show how to deal with migraines and how to do trauma acupuncture. We don't have much time left. Then she says, yes, I've to tell us, think about it. Then she says, yes, but I want to tell you. And then she tells us that when her son was 11 months, they found her husband dead by suicide in the bathtub. We all froze to ice. I say, yeah, okay. Can I send you back in there, into this scene? Yes, I'm already there. I can see him. And her liver went boom, 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 boom. With this trauma acupuncture, I can also get into the brain. The whole body is shown here. That's the magic. You just have to be able to do it, and we train the doctors so that they can do it. You send someone in there, you find out in what part of the brain this takes place, and you put in a little crystal. For example, that's an implant that dissolves again. 3 implants, then she says the door to the bathroom won't open at all. And now she can't get to him, and then she sits up and says, I can't get to it anymore, and my migraines are gone too. What is the migraine? The migraine is a hammer in the head. The bile is connected to the liver. These are connected organs. We all stood there and I thought to myself, luckily it went well, you don't really want that in a class. But back to the lady who was so intrusive, she then got up and was completely relaxed in the face. Then I say to her for fun, and woe betide you tell me anything else that hurts you. She laughed. But people come with a problem. They say it hurts me here and there, and it's a mistake to think that's not true at all. It hurts them. That is called psychosomatics. The psyche, the soma triggers, and the person really has something. And yes, I take care of the spine, and I look at the intestines, and I look at the intestinal flora. Often, it is a different matter what is behind it.
Back to the money, very briefly.
Oh, the money, yes, sure.
Yeah, I'd like to ask one more question. I've also already noticed if you really want something, then you learn to want it.
Oh, yes, if you chase after money, the money will run away from you. Letting go is the great art, but letting go is not everything. Just letting go is not what you need. Then you continue to follow your parents' patterns. Poor people are better people. Aren't we good enough? I'm not worth it. Or money is dangerous. What do I think about money? Since I was able to clarify the topic for myself, it has been very clear to me that I am giving a service and get money for it. I used to be poor as a student. I didn't have much. We were 5 children. I ate second-hand vegetables to be able to pay for the return flight from my place of study in Glasgow. Find out what it is. How are you connected to the thing? What do you want? And you can dig a bit there. You can say, what's so bad about having money? Not what's so bad about not having money. You lead them back according to the motto, you don't really need the money, just leave it, let go. Send it into the light. Look what's so bad about what you want, which is why you don't get it. In the worst case, what could happen when you get what you want? The Chinese say, the worst that can happen to you is that nothing will happen to you. So when things just go smoothly, so now you have a topic, it happens to you. For everything, ask what would be so bad if you had it. What would be the bad thing if you had it? Sometimes I also ask that when people want to have children. What would be so bad about having children? And then I come across hidden defences. Yes, because, and if you can solve that, it will be easier. What would be so bad about becoming boss? How to become boss? But I still want to be the boss. Well, you can see you don't want it. It has something to do with you. That's an issue. Would you say it's a topic you've been following for a long time? Yes, I want to be the boss. Okay, what's so bad about becoming boss? I had one of those cases. You know, when you're the boss, you don't have any friends anymore. Someone with money, I say, what's so bad about being rich? He says that when you're rich, my parents always said that then you don't have any friends. Look at the beliefs. Look, what's so bad about it? To be known and crazy, what's so bad about finally singing on stage? Yes, people would see me then. Everyone would see me, says someone. Yes, but that's why you're on stage. Yes, it's logical, but actually I don't want to be seen. There are other reasons. Do you see how we get caught up?
It's amazing. The time's already up again, Beate. But you keep getting going and it's such a great passion. We have to do a lot more episodes about it because really the more I talk to you, the deeper it goes into my... not just into the conscious mind, but into the subconscious. And I think that's the goal that we can all recognise at home. that the soul is looking for an expression, and that problems that occur also have to do with me.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for this episode. And all the best to you, dear viewers. See you next time.